and welcome to this video on analyzing data with Python. After watching this video, you will be able to describe how to design a hands-on lab, explain how to create the main parts of a hands-on lab, and describe instructional labs and learning tools interoperability, or LTI, labs. In this video, we will be using the McDonald's menu nutritional facts data for popular menu items at McDonald's while using Python to perform basic exploratory analysis. McDonald's is an American fast food company and the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue. Although McDonald's is known for fast food items such as hamburgers, French fries, soft drinks, milkshakes, and desserts, the company has added to its menu salads, fish, smoothies, and fruit. McDonald's provides nutrition analysis of their menu items to help you balance your McDonald's meal with other foods you eat. The data set used in this lesson has been obtained from the Nutritional Facts for McDonald's menu from Kaggle. We need to create a database table on an SQL server to store the McDonald's menu nutrition facts dataset that we will be using. We can use SQLite 3, which is an in-process Python library that implements a self-contained, serverless, zero-configuration transactional SQL database engine. We can read the database CSV file using the pandas.read_CSV function to a variable say data. Next, the connection to a database, mcdonalds.db, can be established using SQLite3.connect function and saving the connection object to a variable, say, con. The contents of variable data can then be loaded as a table to the mcdonalds.db database using the to_SQL attribute function of the pandas variable data. In the example shown here, the contents of the CSV file are now available as a table, McDonald's_nutrition, which can now be queried as per requirement. Now let's see how we can use pandas to retrieve data from the database tables. To do that, we load data from the McDonald's_nutrition table into the data frame df using the read_SQL method. Then, the SQL select query and the connection object are passed as parameters to the read_SQL method. We can view the first rows of the data frame df that we created using the head method. Now it's time to learn about your data. Pandas methods are equipped with a set of common mathematical and statistical methods. Let's use the describe method to view the summary statistics of the data in the data frame. Then explore the output of the describe method. We see that there are 260 observations or food items in our data frame. We also see that there are 9 unique categories of food items in our data frame. We can also see summary statistics information such as frequency, mean, median, standard deviation, etc. for the 260 food items across the different variables. For example, the maximum value for the total fat is 118. Let's investigate this data further. Let's try to understand one of the nutrients in the food items, which is sodium. A main source of sodium is table salt. The average American eats 5 or more teaspoons of salt each day. This is about 20 times as much as the body needs. Sodium is found naturally in foods, but a lot of it is added during processing and preparation. Many foods that do not taste salty may still be high in sodium. Large amounts of sodium can be hidden in canned, processed, and convenience foods. Sodium controls fluid balance in our bodies and maintains blood volume and blood pressure. Eating too much sodium may raise blood pressure and cause fluid retention, which could lead to swelling of the legs and feet or other health issues. When limiting sodium in your diet, a common target is to eat less than 2,000 milligrams of sodium per day. Now, using the nutrition data set from McDonald's, let's do some basic data analysis to answer the question, which food item has the maximum sodium content? We first use visualization to explore the sodium content of food items. Using the swarm plot method provided by the Seaborn package, we create a categorical scatter plot as shown on the right. Then give as the input category on the x-axis, sodium on the y-axis, and the data will be the data frame df that contains the nutritional dataset from McDonald's. The plot shows the sodium values for the different food items by category. Notice a high value around 3,600 for sodium on the scatter plot. We will be learning about visualizations later in this module. Let's further explore this high sodium value and identify which food items on the menu have this value for sodium. Let's do some basic data analysis using Python to find which food items on the menu have maximum sodium content. To check the values of sodium levels in the food items within the dataset, we use the code as shown in Code 1. The describe method is used to understand the summary statistics associated with sodium. Notice that the maximum value of sodium is given as 3600. Now let's further explore the row associated with the maximum sodium variable as shown in Code 2. We use the IDX max method to compute the index values at which the maximum value of sodium is obtained in the data frame. We see that the output is 82. Now let's find the item name associated with the 82nd item in our data frame. As shown in Code 3, we will use the .at method to find the item name by passing the index of 82 and the column name item to be returned for the 82nd row. Finally, we find that the food item on the menu that has a highest sodium content is Chicken McNuggets, 40 pieces. Visualizations are very useful for initial data exploration. They can help us understand relationships, patterns, and outliers in the data. Let's first create a scatter plot with protein on the x-axis and total fat on the y-axis. Scatter plots are very popular visualization tools and show the relationship between two variables with a point for each observation. To do this, we can use the joint plot function provided by the Seaborn package and give, as input, protein on the x-axis and total fat on the y-axis, and the data will be in the data frame DF that contains the nutritional dataset from McDonald's. The output scatter plot is shown on the right side. The plot has an interesting shape. It shows the correlation between the two variables, protein and fat. Correlation is a measure of association between two variables and has a value of between -1 and +1. We see that the points on the scatter plot are closer to a straight line in the positive direction, so we have a positive correlation between the two variables. On the top right corner of the scatter plot, we have the values of the Pearson correlation, 0.81, and the significance of the correlation denoted as P, which is a good value that shows the variables are certainly correlated. The plot also shows two histograms, one on the top and the other on the right side. The histogram on the top is that of the variable protein, and the histogram on the right side is that of the variable total fat. We also notice that there is a point on the scatter plot outside the general pattern. This is a possible outlier. Now let's see how we can visualize data using box plots. Box plots are charts that indicate the distribution of one or more variables. The box in a box plot captures the middle 50% of data. Lines and points indicate possible skewness and outliers. Let's create a box plot for sugar. The function we are going to use is boxplot from the Seaborn package. We give the column name sugars as input to the boxplot function. The output is shown on the right side, where we have the boxplot with average values of sugar in food items around 30 grams. We also notice a few outliers that indicate food items with extreme values of sugar. There exist food items in the dataset that have sugar content of around 128 grams. Candies may be among these high sugar content food items on the menu. Now you know that SQLite 3 is an in-process Python library that implements a self-contained, serverless, zero-configuration, transactional SQL database engine. The pandas.read_CSV function is used to read the database CSV file. The SQLite3.connect function is used to connect to a database. To use pandas to retrieve data from the database tables, load data using the read_SQL method and select the SQL select query. A categorical scatter plot is created using the swarm plot bracket method by the Seaborn package.